Hello YouTube family and welcome back to Secrets and Confessions World, where every story matters. Today I'm back with the second and final part of the previous story. If you haven't watched the previous story, please go ahead and watch it first so that you can understand what this story is all about. So before we dive into the story today, I want to thank all my day ones who keep on showing up for every episode, commenting and subscribing. You guys are really amazing. If you are new to this channel and you enjoy this type of content, don't leave without subscribing or clicking the bell button to get notified each and every time that I upload a new video. So guys, now I'm going to get into the story. The last time that we were on this story, the first part ended when this lady's husband died when they were having sonoro. So I am going to continue. The story goes as follows. The story continues as follows. When he died on top of me, I thought everything was over, but that was just the beginning of something darker. Relatives gathered for his funeral. We buried him. Everything seemed normal. The funeral lasted 7 days. After that, I told his family I would be returning to my parents' house because I wanted nothing to do with this man's wealth. I have my own business which I worked hard for. Yes, he gave me the capital, but everything I built from there is mine. They all agreed, but jokingly, my mother-in-law said, "You will come back." I didn't take it seriously. I thought she meant I would miss them and visit them someday. But in my heart, I had already decided I would never return to that house again. I went back to my parents' house. My mom, my dad, and my little siblings were happy to see me. Everything seemed fine. I felt no remorse whatsoever. I believed my husband's death had freed me from the evil that was in my life. Little did I know when I discovered that my husband made his money through rituals. He had already gone to the shrine. He had made a request. If anything ever happened to him, I should take his place so that the wealth he built would not go to waste. Soon I became dreaming of a strange place every single night. The dreams were terrifying. I won't go into detail, but they were dark and disturbing. I told my mother about them. She advised me to go to church. I spoke to the pastor, but he dismissed them as nightmares and told me to pray. The dreams continued. Then my mother-in-law called and asked me to come to her house immediately. When I arrived, everything seemed normal until she mentioned my dreams. I was shocked. How did she know? I assumed my mother must have told her. I explained everything. She calmly said she knew how to stop them. I asked her which church I should attend, which pastor should I see. She simply said, "Go back to the house you shared with my son. That is the only way the dreams will stop." I refused and left, but the dreams continued. She sent a message saying the dreams were never going to stop unless I returned to the house. Out of frustration, I went back to confront her. She said I wasn't ready to hear the truth. She insisted that once I returned to the house, she will explain everything. Eventually, I gave in. I went back to that house and the dreams stopped immediately. A week later, my mother-in-law came to visit. She said, "Now you are ready." She told me that the wealth my husband had once belonged to her husband before he died. Before his death, he passed it to his first son. Now that his son had no child, the inheritance, including the ritual, could only be passed to his wife, me. She explained that generations ago, a ritual was performed. It carries both wealth and a curse. When I married into the family, I became part of the bloodline spiritually. Since I could not conceive, I became the only vessel capable of carrying the curse. Before leaving, she told me to be strong. I called her later and begged her to transfer it to someone else. She said it was impossible. You are already part of the family. After staying in that house for some time, I began feeling an intense sexual urge. I assumed it was part of grieving. That my body was moving on before my mind. I was wrong. She later told me that the urge was part of the curse. I was meant to feed the spirit tied to the family by sleeping with people. In doing so, I would take their destiny and future and strengthening the spirit, and the wealth would increase also. That was the most evil thing I've ever heard a woman speak. I pretended to accept, but the next morning I started searching for pastors. Every pastor I visited claimed to pray for me and said everything was solved, but the urge continued to remain there. When the spirit wants to feed, I lose control. I pick random men from the streets or in town, take them home, sleep with them, and never speak to them again. I no longer go to work. My business runs itself, and strangely, it prospers more than when I worked hard for it. If anyone knows the true man of God anywhere in the world who can can help me? Please let me know. I am tired. I grew up believing in God. I grew up believing that God is the pillar of strength. I have not lost faith in him, but I am far from the girl I used to be. Even one pastor I sought help from ended up sleeping with me when the edge took over. Oh my God. To all the people whose destinies I may have stolen, I am sorry. I hope you never blame yourself for the failures in your lives. I hope you forgive me, even if you never know it was me. Many times I feel like I'm not in control of my own life. I want it back. I want my choices back. If you know a truthful and powerful pastor who can help me, please write the name in the comment section. Wow. Yeah. If any of you know a pastor who is powerful, truly powerful, just write the name in the comment section. Let this lady visit the pastor and get help. However, I would say jumping from pastor to pastor might spark vulnerability and manipulation. You know, we already have an instance where the pastor here had sonoro with her, so I wouldn't really advise continuing to jump from pastor to pastor. I think the healing that you need is supposed to come from you, and it's supposed to come from God straight. No intermediator whatsoever. Pray, fast. And I think you should also get help from doctors, psychiatrists, because I think you went through trauma, you went through a lot of things, and now when a person is telling you that you are cursed repeatedly, it might also affect the way that you even think. Let me know, guys, what you think about this story. Let's talk in the comment section. Till we meet again in the next video on Friday, stay prayed up, stay protected. Do not let anyone tell you that you're cursed. Believe in the one true God that you believe in, and know that he will always come through for you. Thank you so much.